Can you imagine being in a situation where now you've got planning that confirms you can't build a house? So all the potential of the house is gone, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a few sleepless nights there.
Yeah.
So we're in Ballantyre, and Ballantyre actually we're in a street which was pretty much the oldest houses in the whole of the Ballantyre area. So it was all fields around here once upon a time.
I'm from Cork, Derek is from Galway. We met the old-fashioned way in a nightclub in Dublin 16 years ago. We moved in together pretty fast. We bought our apartment in 2006. Boom time, when everyone was buying off plans, queuing overnight. We were one of them, bought the apartment, and then we got married.
Oh, I knew this was something. As in, there was no question in my mind that this was a house that we could make something of. And it's not a case that, you know, you're not walking into something that's finished, you're walking into something knowing there's a lot of work to be done, but we were always up for that. And I think it's because we're a big family. You know, you can look at all the new builds you want in Dublin. They're not built for a family like us. They're just not, you know, everything is smaller, everything's just that little bit too small, or it might have the square footage, but not in the places that we would need it as a family.
Not us, but we knew we'd have to gut it.
Start at the front door.
A lot of people can move into houses and live in it for a while and then do work to it, but yeah, you couldn't move in. If it was just us, we probably could have for a while and done the renovation, but
this house was smaller than the apartment we moved out of because we were having a second child.
Yeah,
so there's no chance we'd ever move back in with 5, you know. It was a good bit smaller than the apartment in town. So,
so it's 4 years ago this month that we bought it. We bought the house. We didn't have enough to buy a house that would be 700-800 grand around here, the size house that we wanted. We knew we had enough to buy the house for the price it was, but we didn't have the money to do the rest of the house.
We had some,
but
not.
And Derek's parents very kindly said, how can we help? Will we sell the site in Galway? And hopefully that will be enough to do the extension. And we said, yeah, because we can't do this without help. We just didn't have the money. We got the mortgage to buy the house. We didn't have any other money to do it. So that was the plan. And while we were waiting for planning permission, after we bought it, we got an architect. We did the plans to do the extension. And then we went in for planning and we were refused first because it was too big. It was overbearing, over everything. It was a big white wall event at the start.
I actually prefer where we landed. A smaller house, but it's actually a much better looking house now that we landed with. You know. And can you imagine when people buy a house like this, they don't buy it for what it is, they buy it for the potential. Can you imagine being in a situation where now you've got planning that confirms you can't build a house? So all the potential of the house is gone, you know. I mean, we had a few sleepless nights there.
While we were waiting for planning permission, we got a loan to renovate the original house. So we renovated the whole of the original 2 up, 2 down. So it was ready to go. Like, we did everything, gutted it, rewired, replastered, insulation, everything. So we had no stairs then, we had nothing, so we couldn't move in anyway. So after 14 months of paying huge rent and mortgage, we decided to move to Galway in with Derek's parents.
We sat down where literally every room, we kind of had it there. It's like move rooms around until we find a plan that works, where everything, you know, you can just walk through it. I probably walked through this house 1,000 times in my head before we ever saw it in real life. We had to get very hands-on. You know, I think, you know, even from Galway, getting in the car and driving up here and seeing that it was going the right direction and getting on WhatsApp with the tradesmen going, you know, can you do this then? You know, we really had to push on, I think, to get in. Racing through the house, trying to get everything done before you have to get back in the car and drive back to Galway. And we hated it. As in, every day leaving this house felt awful. You know, you think, why can't we be here? You know, why can't we be across the road, maybe minding it?
Or what's going to get done or not done while we're not here. That was the thing. We didn't know if people were going to be here. We knew we wanted a contemporary kitchen. We knew we wanted handless, sleek, just modern, simple kitchen. But we prefer to put the oven on the island, the hob on the island, because it's more social. Like, the kids can sit up there and watch
Actually, one of the
Daddy
first
cooking.
things we did is when we moved in, big cookery lesson at the mall, helped me making a pad thai.
Yeah.
Sat down and eat it, and it feels like, geez, we're home. You know, we're home.
Yeah.
If we knew how hard this was going to be,
We wouldn't
we
have done
might
it.
never have started.
Yeah.
So, I suppose, actually, more advice I tend to give people is, it's your home, build it for you. Don't necessarily worry about how much you're spending as long as you can afford it, or how much it'd be worth when you're finished, because it's more valuable to you than it would be to anybody else if it's your home that you've built for you. To not sound like you're bragging, you know what I mean? As in, I want people to see what we've done, and I want them to see what she's designed, because we're proud, not because we're bragging. You know, it's sort of an odd thing, but I'm immensely proud.